Imagine someone told you that the exercise most older adults are told to do for poor leg circulation might actually slow down your progress. And imagine they said this even if you've been doing it every single day, thinking you were doing everything right. That would make you pause for a moment, wouldn't it? Because for many seniors, the advice is always the same. Just walk more. Keep moving. Stay active. But here's where things get interesting. Health experts like the CDC remind us that nearly 1 out of every 5 adults over 70 is living with something called peripheral artery disease, a condition where blood flow is restricted because the arteries get narrower. And the surprising truth is, many people don't know they have it until things become serious. Poor circulation is not only about cold feet or swelling. It's like a warning light on your dashboard. It tells you that your heart and arteries may be under stress. If it's ignored for too long, everyday things start to change. Cuts take longer to heal. Infections happen more easily. Balance weakens. And in the worst cases, people face surgeries or even amputation. Now, before that sounds scary, stay with me, because this isn't about fear. This is about power, real power. After reading research on aging, movement, and blood flow, and after hearing story after story from older adults across the country, one pattern kept showing up. The answer wasn't simply move more. It was something smarter than that. The real key is the right type of muscle activation, the kind that wakes up your body's built-in circulation system. And most people have never even heard of it. You may have tried everything they recommended. You walk, you sit and rest. Maybe you even wear compression socks. Yet your legs still feel heavy. Your ankles swell. Your toes feel cold. And some days, walking up the stairs feels like stepping into quicksand. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone, and it is not your fault. No one explained the missing piece. Today, we're going to talk about that missing piece, gently, clearly, and step by step. And by the end of this video, you'll understand something that may completely change the way you think about exercise after 60. Before we dive in, I'd love to know something. How old are you? And where are you watching from? Has anyone ever told you, just walk more? It'll fix your circulation? We read every single comment because we're building a place that supports you, not just numbers on a screen. All right, ready to uncover what most people never hear? Let's talk. For decades, walking has been the #1 recommendation. Doctors suggest it. Friends suggest it. Fitness articles repeat it over and over. And yes, walking is good. It's natural. It's gentle on the joints. And it keeps the body moving. But here's the truth almost nobody explains. Walking by itself doesn't fully activate the powerful muscle system that actually pushes blood back up from your legs to your heart. And that system matters more than most people realize. Think about how many older adults walk slowly, with short steps, often leaning forward just a bit. There's nothing wrong with that. It's natural as we age. But this slower style often means the deeper muscles don't fully squeeze and contract the way they should. And those deeper muscles are the very ones responsible for pumping blood upward. Researchers looked at this more closely. One study published in 2021 found that seniors who relied only on walking didn't see much improvement in venous return, unless they walked at speeds that are faster than what most older adults can safely manage. That's not realistic, and it's not safe for everyone. But when researchers tested something called targeted muscle activation, especially exercises focused on the calf pump, everything changed. People had less swelling. Their legs felt warmer. They reported walking with more confidence, and many felt more stable. And all of this happened even though they weren't walking huge distances. So if you've been walking regularly and still feel cold toes, swollen ankles, or balance problems, please understand, you are not doing anything wrong. You're simply missing one important step. And today we're going to put that missing piece back in place, safely and clearly. We're going to talk about 5 gentle, science-backed movements designed especially for older adults. These are not trendy internet workouts. They are used in real rehabilitation programs by vascular specialists, and they are designed for how the body actually changes after 60. And here's something to keep you curious. The final movement might completely shift the way you think about circulation. Many surgeons rely on it more than any other. So stay with me. Let's begin with the first exercise, which might look almost too simple. When you're sitting in a chair and move your feet up and down, it can look like nothing, almost like a child wiggling their toes. Many people think exercises like this are only for people recovering from surgery, but this movement is actually pure biology in action. Inside your lower legs are your calf muscles, and these muscles are so important that doctors sometimes call them your second heart. Every time they contract, even just a little, they gently squeeze the deep veins and help push blood upward back toward your heart. But here's what happens when we sit for long periods or only do light walking. That muscle pump becomes lazy. Blood begins to collect around the ankles. Feet get colder. Swelling shows up. Oxygen delivery slows. And the legs start to feel heavy and tired. Researchers saw something fascinating in 2020. Older adults who did simple seated ankle pumps 3 times a day had less swelling, warmer feet, and less nighttime discomfort, all without special machines or medications. Just movement. If this muscle stays inactive, circulation stagnates. Healing becomes slower, and balance issues show up because the foot and ankle stop working together smoothly. The good news? This movement is simple. Sit in a sturdy chair. Keep your feet flat. Lift your toes toward your shins while your heels stay down. Then gently press your toes into the floor and lift your heels, just like slowly pressing a gas pedal. Move in a smooth rhythm. Try 20 to 30 repetitions, 2 to 3 times a day. The most important part isn't intensity, it's consistency. This exercise wakes up the system. But we won't stop here because your circulation doesn't depend only on the lower leg. Now let's move higher up. Many seniors look at seated leg lifts and think, that's too easy. Does this even do anything? But this movement targets your thighs and hips, muscles that quietly support circulation more than most people realize. These muscles press against major veins in the upper legs, helping return blood to the heart. But as we age, our steps naturally become shorter. Our thighs don't contract as fully, so blood moves slower and stiffness sets in. A recent study showed that adults over 60 who practiced seated leg lifts a few times a week became faster walkers, stronger stair climbers, and less tired during daily life. Why? Because they retrained the legs to participate in circulation again. Letting these muscles weaken leads to trouble standing up, slower walking, and higher fall risk. And then because movement becomes uncomfortable, people move even less, making circulation worse. The good news again? This is gentle. Sit upright with your back supported. Slowly lift one leg straight out in front. Hold briefly and lower it with control. Perform 10 to 15 repetitions per leg. Over time, a light ankle weight can be added, but only when it feels safe. Muscles respond to challenge at any age. Now, let's combine strength and coordination. Most people assume walking alone trains the calves, but here's the surprise. Walking does not teach your calves how to react when you stumble or lose balance. Real-life balance requires your calf muscles to fire quickly and strongly. By adding a slow heel raise with a pause at the top, we teach the muscles to stay active just long enough to support your steps when it matters most. Researchers have shown that stronger calves are linked to fewer falls, better independence, and greater confidence in older adults. And here's the practical part. Stand behind a chair. Rise slowly onto the balls of your feet. Pause briefly, then lower down slowly. This pause trains not just circulation, but your nervous system, balance, and reaction timing. Begin with around 10 repetitions and slowly work toward 20 or more as you feel steady. Next comes something that may surprise you: balance on one leg. Standing on one foot might sound almost childish, but it is actually one of the strongest indicators of longevity and fall risk. That's because balancing on one leg engages everything: ankles, calves, hips, and your brain's internal navigation system. People who struggle to hold one leg balance for even 10 seconds have a much higher risk of falling and losing mobility over time. But the encouraging part: practicing a little each day trains the nervous system. And the nervous system can improve at any age. To try it safely, stand beside a stable surface. Shift your weight onto one leg and lift the other just slightly. Hold for around 20 to 30 seconds. Breathe normally. Repeat on both sides. Over time, you can lessen the support, but always prioritize safety. Finally, we arrive at the movement that vascular surgeons rely on around the world. It's simple. Rise on your toes and hold. That's it. But the hold is what changes everything. When you stay lifted for a few seconds, your calf muscles actively squeeze the deep veins long enough to push blood upward against gravity. Studies show that practicing this twice daily can dramatically reduce swelling, improve walking endurance, and increase balance confidence, often more effectively than just walking. To do it safely, stand behind a counter or chair. Lift onto the balls of your feet. Hold for 3 to 5 seconds. Lower slowly. Start with 8 to 10 repetitions and build gradually. This one exercise directly teaches the second heart in your legs to work again. And that is the system that keeps your legs warm, alive, and strong. Now, let's step back for a moment. Poor circulation is not simply annoying. When blood moves slowly, wounds heal more slowly, swelling becomes persistent, pain limits mobility, and daily life shrinks. But none of this means decline is guaranteed. Much of what we think is aging is actually underuse, muscles that stopped being asked to work in the way they were designed. Your legs are not finished. Your circulation is not permanently stuck. Your muscles can be retrained gently, safely, and consistently. Even 1 or 2 of these exercises done daily can mean warmer feet, steadier steps, and better confidence. And here's the truth many people never hear. You don't have to exercise like a teenager. You simply need movements that respect your age, support your biology, and encourage the systems that keep you independent. Start small. Add 1 or 2 exercises into your day, maybe during commercials, after meals, or while waiting for water to boil. Over time, these tiny choices add up. And the most powerful part, your body still listens. Even after 60, 70, or 80, it responds beautifully to the right kind of movement. If even one part of this video made you think, I didn't know that, imagine what will happen when you practice these movements consistently. And if you found value here, consider sharing it with someone who has been told only to walk more. They deserve the full picture, too. Tell us in the comments which exercise surprised you most, and which one you plan to try first. We read every comment because this channel is about supporting real people who want to stay strong, steady, and independent for as long as possible. And remember, You don't need to move like you did at 25. You just need to move like someone who wants to walk confidently into the future, one gentle rep at a time.